I'm fine. You know, I think Augusta was a pretty tough week for me, but I think out of those tough weeks and those tough times, you learn a lot, and I feel like I've proved over the course of my 15 or 16 year career that I've been pretty resilient, and I've had these times before where I've had lulls and struggles, and I've always found a way to sort of get myself back out of them and start playing some good golf again. So, but yeah, I think once you have these weeks or these moments, it just sort of makes you reassess where you are, and I think my whole sort of list of priorities was a little off in some ways, and it sort of gave me a good perspective on things, and it was nice to take a little bit of time away and disconnect from the world of golf for a few weeks and sort of start afresh again. So that's been nice.
In your press conference, you mentioned the word deflating as it pertained to the results at Augusta National. How do you actually go about processing everything that happens, especially when it's due to expectations going into that week and kind of the work that you do with Dr. Bob Rotella?
Yeah, so I think, reflecting back on not just Augusta this year, but just, over the course of the last few years, I feel like my best golf has always come when expectations are pretty low, and not meaning that I don't feel like I'm playing well or whatever, but it's more I just have a much higher level of acceptance. Like, I'll accept whatever the golf course gives me, or I'll accept whatever shot that I hit. So I think there's been times where I've been so, like, I've wanted it so much and almost too much that acceptance just hasn't been there. And that was a good lesson over the last few weeks, and sort of something I'm, it's easier said than done, but something I'm trying to put into practice, not just this week, but going forward.
On top of those expectations, you've also taken on quite a bit of extra work off the golf course when it comes to your role with the PGA Tour, and really serving as the face and the voice in the last 12 months. Do you see yourself that way?
I mean, I wasn't seeking it out. It's not. I can see how it's evolved into being that way. It's not something I ever really wanted. It's something that I felt strongly about it, so I felt like I needed to do it. But leadership or taking on a role like that is pretty hard, and it can be exhausting at times. And again, it's sort of trying to get your priorities straight in life and what you actually want out of life and what makes you happy and all those sorts of things. So I think I've done a pretty good job, but I think it's time for me to focus on myself and my golf and my family, and sort of just starting to do the things that make me happy and sort of make me want to get up in the morning, because if you just focus on all the rest of the stuff that's going on, as I said, it can get pretty mentally exhausting.
There's a lot of challenges that come with leadership, scrutiny, comments. How much have you picked up on those things? How much have they affected you over the last 12 months and maybe contributed to your decision to have a change of priorities?
A little bit. I think the hard thing with taking on a role like that is you feel like you're trying to do the right thing, but sometimes it doesn't always come across that way. So yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it does. Like, it comes with scrutiny, and it comes with all those things that you said. And of course, like, I'm not immune to that, and I pick up on that. And I think that was part of the reason why I was just like, you know what? I think it might be better for me. I'm still going to be involved, and I'm on the board of the PGA Tour, and that's not going to change. But just in my day-to-day life, just not giving it as much mental space that I was giving it before.
Okay, let's focus back on the golf and the PGA Championship. What has the last week and a half been like for you in specific preparation? Anything different? Anything come up that you think will be quite helpful for you here this week?
Yeah, so I had my coach Michael Bannon in town last week, which has been a big help. I also had a good chat with Tiger a couple of days after Quail Hollow about some stuff with my swing, so that was really helpful. Just, I mean, look, it's two guys talking about the golf swing like we always do, but I thought I was really appreciative of him to reach out and just sort of share some of his thoughts with me. And so, when you've got the greatest player of all time giving you some advice, you're not going to turn that down. So that was really cool. So I got some stuff from that. I think I was really once I talked to him, I was really excited to go to the range and work on some stuff, and it sort of gave me a new sort of level of enthusiasm, going into these next few months. So that, along with Michael being there and just keeping an eye on things, I thought I had a really productive week last week.
When did Tiger reach out to you, and what was, I know you probably don't want to reveal everything he specifically said, but were there some specific things he was noticing in your swing?
Yeah. He's obviously recovering from his surgery, and watched a little bit of golf over the weekend, and saw a couple of things, and just reached out, which again, really appreciative that he would do that for me. And again, you're always going to take that sort of stuff on board. But yeah, just a couple of little things in the swing that he noticed that he hadn't seen before. So it was good to have a chat with him about it, and happy that he reached out, and happy that Michael was there as well to sort of keep an eye on some of the stuff that he said, and it's very similar to things that I've done before. It's actually feeling that I'm trying to get back is a very similar feeling to what I had last year throughout the year. So it was a pretty good week.
You're obviously very attuned to the golf swing. You probably know your golf swing better than anyone, but to have somebody like Tiger reach out to you, does it give you some sort of validation when you think about focusing on specific aspects that you might be working on?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think with his level of knowledge, and I don't know if I've met anyone that has more knowledge of the game of golf or the golf swing than him. So whenever he reaches out and he says something, you take it on board. And yeah, I think validation, again, like some of the things that he was sharing with me is things that I've felt before. So validation that what I was thinking and what I have been doing are the right things. And again, that level of, whether it's right or wrong, if you've got certainty in your mind, it's usually going to work out okay in the end. So yeah, it was good.
Equipment-wise, I know it's been an interesting year for you with equipment, the driver, changing wedges, changing putter. I think you're back to the Spider putter right now. Where are you at in terms of equipment?
I'm set with equipment. I've tinkered enough this year, and it's been good because there's been some learnings that have come from that as well. I thought the driver that I found just before the match play has worked out really well. The process I've been through with TaylorMade with the wedges, I think has went well. The Spider was benched for a few weeks and I've been able to go back. So, or not able to go back, but I have went back, and I'm more, you have these ideas, you try them, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And then, it's always, you go back and I'm just a little more confident inside a 6 feet with the Spider than I was with the Blade. And those 6 footers are pretty important.
They are very important. And speaking of being comfortable, there's been a lot of talk about you being very comfortable in Rochester, New York, due to your family connection through your wife, Erica. You're an honorary member here at Oak Hill. I know that you haven't played here quite as much as you probably would like, but how much have you actually played? And based on your observations here this week, what can our viewers expect?
So I've already played 27 holes leading up to this tournament, 9 on Sunday, 18 yesterday. I think I've played a total of 18 holes before that as well, so it's not as much as people are probably making it out to be. But I've spent a lot of time. I've used the gym in this clubhouse way more than I've played the golf course. And there's simulators for in the winter time, and I've used those simulators a lot when I've been up here for Christmas. So look, I have a level of comfort here that many people in this field probably don't have, but I'm not sure that the level of course knowledge is quite superior to everyone else. But it's nice to come to a place where it's familiar, and I'll get a lot of support this week, which is great, and I'm looking forward to that.